god, editing this one is gonna be a mess. Dude, if I go full-time, my own worst enemy is gonna be me. I'm gonna be my own worst coworker. It's a future Scar problem. Yeah, but future Scar is gonna want to choke, and not in a kinky way. Past Scar. You get what I mean? Chat on Monday told me that apparently Australians are so bad at their job, particularly the military in Australia, that they ended up losing an actual war to, I'm not joking, birds. I could not believe what I was reading. I could not believe what I was reading. Because how do you use the birds when you have automatic guns? One of the modern miracles of the 20th century. How do you lose to a bird, man? Australia's just knocked up New Zealand. And also, let me remind you that the Australian, which again, whose country lost to literal birds in warfare, was talking shit about French Canadians. Make it make sense, man. But before I forget it and before I get ahead of myself, why haven't you liked this video? Subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitch and on Twitter. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. If you don't follow me, I know most of you aren't subscribed. You better subscribe or it will hurt you. I'm not joking anymore. Alright, here, let's start with the video.
This is Australia. For the man who imagines being strangled by a tarantula while a kangaroo breaks his kneecaps and thinks, yes please. For the man who pictures himself being eaten by a snake in the burning outback while eating a Vegemite sandwich and thinks, yes please. And that—
Man, Australia really is hell on earth, huh? Australia truly really is hell on earth. I like to think that Australia, Heather, I like to think that hell is empty. Or hell will be empty. And the hell that I mean is Australia. When are we gonna nuke Australians? Listen, I think we are doing a service to them, okay? It's a kind. California is worse. Oh man. I'm gonna keep it about 50 with you, Josh. I think I'd rather live in California. I'm sorry, Josh. I know you're Australian and you like where you live, but I think I'd rather go to California and live over there to go to Australia and have to like contend with the spiders that you guys have everywhere all over there. Listen, I hate spiders. Don't look for the forest fires. I'll take my chances, man. I think I'll take my chances. I think I'd rather take my chances with the fires than the spiders.
That man was Governor Arthur Phillip, who landed in Eastern—
Mind you, I would choose neither, but hey, here we are. Earthquakes.
Australia in 1788, presumably saw a dingo being eaten by a crocodile, being eaten by a death adder, being eaten by a koala, being eaten by Mel Gibson, and thought to himself,
Jesus
yes,
Christ.
Good. Now I know what you're thinking. But oversimplified, the British didn't discover Australia, the Vikings did. And you'd be wrong. I'm not sure why you'd think that. But hey, if you love Vikings so much, then why don't you check out today's sponsor?
Oh, kill
Vikings
me.
War of Clans was inspired by the PC strategy and RPG
Guys,
games of the 19—
skip. I hear a lot of skip. Okay, fine, I'll skip. But, do support Oversimplified using these links if you can.
Buy! Man, this is great. The market will continue to grow forever. But what if it doesn't?
Are you sure?
Oh crap, I never thought of that. Sell! And the stock market crashed, which led to economic downturn, which meant banks wouldn't lend anyone any money, which led to more economic downturn, which meant everyone stopped buying stuff, which led to more economic downturn. And hey, what if all the crops in the Great Plains were destroyed in a drought and then a big dust storm engulfed the area? That's right, more economic downturn. And
wait, I thought we were watching a video about the Emu War. What happened?
In an effort to combat the crisis, America began imposing tariffs on foreign imports, which made the economic downturn go global, and the earth got really depressed. But one nation that was hit harder than most by the whole affair, Australia. The problem for Australia was that it relied heavily on its export industries, and in the current economic climate, no one was buying. To make things worse, Australia had introduced its own currency and pegged it onto the gold standard via the British pound, but then the UK started messing with its own peg on the gold standard, and if this is starting to sound confusing, then let me oversimplify it for you.
Yes, please.
Hey UK, looks like my car is broken down. Want to give me a tow? No problem, friend. I got you.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. Lord.
more economic downturn. The point I'm trying to make is things weren't good, and in particular, it was Australia's farmers that were suffering most. After the First World War, Australia had given returning veterans land for farming, but with the current economic crisis, the farmers just weren't making enough money, and many left to go find work in the cities. But for those who remained, things were about to get even worse.
Here we go.
Before we get into that,
The
it's time-
protagonist, antagonist, the hero of the story all in one. The emu.
my national bird is the bald eagle. It's a strong patriotic symbol of America and a deeply valued and protected species. My national bird is the
Okay, can I go back real quick?
strong patriotic symbol.
Did you have, hey, I'm just asking the question, please. This does not reflect on me at all. Okay, but like, wait, hey, the US, can you tell me what's going on here? Dude, how is this possible? How are you able to make yours go down to your ankles, man? That's, what the fuck, man? How is this? I'm not horny. I'm just asking the question. Come on.
Symbol of America and a deeply valued and protected species. My national bird is the peafowl. It's a beautiful creature whose vivid colors represent India, so we list it as a protected species. My national bird is the emu, and it's a pest.
Wow.
Also bloody delicious. Emus, 6 feet tall, 90 to 120 pounds, and able to run at speeds up to 40 miles per hour, usually return to the coast after their breeding season. But suddenly they found Western Australia full of lush, wet farmland. Oh my.
So are these just like asshole ostriches? I'm sorry. Listen, I apologize for my ignorance when it comes to like bird lore. But these are just asshole ostriches, and then yes, okay, thank God. Smaller, but yes. Wait, so hold on. These guys are smaller than ostriches? Damn.
Look at all this delicious wheat that just so happens to be growing here in large quantities. Hey guys, get a load of this. You know mine. Look at all this
Wow.
Hey, who left this big hole in the fence? Guys, get a load of this. Oh wow.
Okay, but the bunnies are okay. I'll allow the bunnies to eat. The ostriches can fuck off, but bunnies are cute and fluffy, and they're you know, I like them a lot.
What a lovely morning for some farming. What? Those damned emus, they have it in for me.
Correct, the emus, not the bunnies.
Bullies, they're nothing but bullies. Calm down, Bruce. They're just animals. It's not personal. Hey, Farmer Bruce, where did you find that hat? The toilet? Yes. 20,000 emus cost the already struggling farmers millions more pounds in lost crops and damages. The situation couldn't continue like this. Something had to be done. So in 1932, the farmers turned to the government for help. You'd think they'd go to the Minister of Agriculture, but these farmers said no.
No?
This is a job for the military. So they went to George Pierce, the Minister of Defense. That's
So to be clear, one of you said that they had automatic weaponry during this, but this was in 1932. So this was between World Wars. So between World War I and World War II, we had the Great Emu War. Jesus Christ.
That's right. Australia was to go to war with the emus. But not everyone was happy with the idea.
Machine guns on trucks and still lost. So the Australians pulled out the Middle Eastern Patriota Technica strat of putting like machine guns to the back of pickup trucks, and they still lost?
This is barbaric. We can't go slaughtering thousands of our own national bird. Oh, come on, guys. The machine guns will make it quick and painless. Machine guns? You're using machine guns? This is animal cruelty. Look, I know it's unusual, but it's
Reminder, in the US, people get into helicopters with AR-15s to shoot at boars for fun. Just as a reminder, we do this right now in 2025.
It's not like we're poachers turning the birds into feather hats. Think of the benefits. It'll be good target practice for our boys. The government can show it took action. Plus, I can get myself a nice new feather hat. Did I say feather hat? I meant I want to gather chat with you about getting you all some nice new feather hats. Did I say feather hats? I meant I want to wage terror at these emus and turn them all into feather hats. Damn it! Of course, Pierce first made the farmers sign an agreement saying that they would
So, I mean, it worked. So all that bullshit that he just said worked out.
pay for the whole thing and that Pierce wouldn't take any of the blame if the operation, that was clearly very stupid, turned out to indeed be stupid, and the operation went ahead. Major GPW Meredith and his men were sent with 2 Lewis machine guns to hunt down and take out the evil emu population in Western Australia. Target spotted. Well, was it an emu? No, sir. It's an emo. Damn it, Jones. Learn your
I know a couple of emos back in the day that would have loved for this to beat them. I'm not gonna go there.
vowels.
Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Okay, it looks like the humans are
Never
coming
mind.
for us. But check this out. I've come up with an amazing plan. See if you can follow me here, okay? When they approach, we run away. Sir, you're a genius. Pierce sent the camera crew along with the machine gunners to capture some good old propaganda for the government, and the first battle took place in November at Campion. The men spotted a mob of emus from a distance, so they set up their guns and opened fire. The emus split up into smaller groups and ran in every direction. The men were only able to kill what they called a number of birds, but the vast majority got away. Cut!
So they killed like what, like one bird?
Surprisingly, many of the emus were able to take multiple bullets, but still run at full speed to safety, causing Meredith to compare them to tanks, saying if we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world. Okay, we need to get closer. No, you idiots, not to me, to the emus. Oh, sorry. No. I like it. So next, they tried
Lewd? I didn't know we were having BL boys love in my little Australian history video. That's interesting.
sneaking up on a large number of emus near a local dam.
Fuyochi's eating good. Fuyochi's eating good.
And firing at short range. Maybe the men were just unlucky, but my professional opinion says the emus were magic, because both guns jammed after just 12 emus were killed, and once again, the rest got away. Cut! The men were feeling a little humiliated after losing to a pack of discount ostriches, so they decided to move further south, where the emus were said to be tamer. And this time, they had a new strategy. Okay, Jones, here's the plan. You mount the machine gun in the back, I'll chase the emus, you shoot. Got it? Got it.
So the Australians were doing the Taliban strat. Fuckest unreal, man. So you're telling me that the Australians were pulling out the Taliban strats against smaller ostriches? And they still lost. Oh, I can't believe this shit. Dude, the nerve, the fucking nerve of Australians to talk shit about other countries, but this is a part of your history.
The operation was a fiasco, and the press had a field day. In Parliament, Pierce was lambasted, and an opposition party member suggested that medals should be handed out to the emus, who had won every round so far. Pierce, feeling quite humiliated, called the operation off, but 4 days later the farmers approached again and said, "Hey man, the emus are still eating all our crops. Can you send the army back out here?" And Pierce was like, "Yeah, okay." So the operation was back on for round 2. And this time Meredith and his men had learned the emus' guerrilla tactics and were much more successful, with reports suggesting the men were cutting down 300 emus every week. I hope you boys are getting great footage of this. What on earth are you filming? Despite the success, the media had lost interest in the whole thing. But with 1,000 emus killed, Pierce finally ended the operation and returned to Parliament declaring victory for the humans. So there were 20,000 emus out there destroying crops, and you've killed 1,000. Meaning there's still 19,000 emus out there. Yep, and in addition, you've burned through 10,000 rounds of ammunition. Meaning you wasted 10 rounds per confirmed kill. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one for the emus. At least I got a feather hat. What? So in the end, the emus won the Great Emu War of 1932, and the emus continued to wreak havoc on the farmers for years to come. The government introduced a bounty system, which saw some success, but for a moment, let's take some time to remember the brave men who said goodbye to their families and risked their lives to take on the great, evil emu population in Western Australia.
So you're telling me he went back? So you're telling me he went back to Parliament and he told them, "We totally won, by the way." And all they did Was coal around 5% of the total emu population? Unreal, man. How is this video real?
But even more importantly, let's think of the friends they made, the bond they created, and the memories they shared.
Take me home to golden fields and sights of days gone by. It's where the heart lies with stories on.
Hey, guys? I solved the emu crisis.
Wait, what
Really?
happened?
How? I just made some better fences.
Australia is not a real country, man. Australia is not a real country. It can't be. This cannot be the ending to this. That's it? That's the... You have to be joking. You have to be joking. Tell me this is a joke. Tell me there's a... Dude, oh my god, I was gonna say, tell me this is like a Marvel movie, like there's a post-credit scene or something. It can't be the case that fences just beat these little shitheads. Australia is not real, man. I'm convinced it's not a real place anymore. It can't be. It just can't. It just can't be real. Is there a part 2? There does not seem to be a part 2. I mean, the only thing they could do for part 2 is explain how the fences beat the emus. Self-explanatory though, that's the issue, right? I can't believe this.